Good morning. Today is Thursday, January 20th, day 26 of my Eastern Continental Trail Thru-Hike. I just left River Ranch about 2 miles ago. I left there about 10 o'clock, so I got a late start, but I had a nice hotel room taking advantage of it. Got to about 15 and a half miles. I'm trying to get it done today to get me to Godwin Camp. There's a pitcher pump there, so get some water. Doesn't look like the water choices between here and there are all that great. So that's kind of my goal for today. I'm kind of up on a levee. You can kind of see the lands around me. So it looks like I'll be walking up high for a little while. And then it looks like there's a lot of road walk today too. Well, I made it to Godwin Camp for the night. There's my tent set up. The actual campsite's kind of over that way through the trees. A picnic table, and then there's a picture pump kind of right out there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's a picture pump out there that I can get water from. So nice little setup here. So far nobody else has showed up. There's a platform over there for a tent, but tent's not really freestanding, so I didn't set up over there. And I'm gonna grab my food and go over there and start cooking dinner. Good morning. It's Friday, January 21st. I'm on day 27 of my Eastern Continental Trail hike, and I am walking through the Three Lakes Wildlife Management Area. This is a 63,000 acre wildlife management area. The trail, including the mileage I did yesterday, goes about 28 miles through this wildlife area. So that's quite a ways. I just left Godwin Hammock where I spent the night last night, and my plan today is somewhere in the 22 to 30 range. There's several options there I can choose from, so we'll just kind of see how the day goes. Started out a little overcast. The sun's starting to burn through a little bit. You can kind of see some clouds up behind me here. So it's not going to be a perfectly clear day. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some cloud cover to keep the hot away. The rain for the forecast has kind of been pushed out till tomorrow, which is great. Looks like we're just going to get 1 day rain now instead of 2. And I'm looking forward to a couple good days of hiking to get me to a spot where there's a 26-mile road walk by Saturday night. So That's the plan. We'll keep pushing forward and see how things go. Good morning. I just finished my first break and thought I would drop a video out here and tell you guys what a through hiker's day is like. So I usually get up between 5:30 and 6 somewhere. I'll prepare a quick start breakfast, which is really just a powdered protein drink I've made ahead of time. Got some caffeine in it, some protein, and some super greens to make sure I get my green vegetables for the day. And I'll have that along with a protein bar to get my day started. I'll get out, put my tent up, filter any water if I need water for the day, and get moving down the trail. So about 6 miles in each day, I will stop and take a little break. Sometimes that 6 miles stretches into 9 or more, depending on where you're at. Yesterday I was in the middle of a road walk, so that wasn't a good place to stop. I think it ended up being a little over 9 miles before I stopped. But generally I try to shoot for about 6, and I'll eat what I call my second breakfast. That's usually some kind of cereal with powdered milk in it, or overnight oats that I fixed ahead of time, and eat those while I'm sitting on the side of the trail or wherever I can find some place good to sit. After the second breakfast, I'll be back on the trail, and I'll hike till about 11 to 12-ish, which is another 6 miles, and have some lunch. Right now my lunch is usually just peanut butter and jelly on tortillas, which is got a lot of protein in it as well, and gives me an opportunity to rest my feet a little bit. Sometimes I'll take my shoes off, let them air out, dry out if it's been wet, and move again down the trail after I eat. Somewhere around the next 6 mile mark, or 18 miles, I will stop and rest again. If it's a short day where I'm only hiking, 18 to 20 miles, I may just grab a snack out of my bag and eat while I walk. But if it's gonna be a longer day, 24 miles or more, I'll stop, I'll rest again, give my feet a chance to rest, and have a third snack, which is usually some kind of protein bar, M&Ms, trail mix, things like that, just to kind of give me some extra energy for the day. So back on the trail, I go another roughly 6-ish miles to camp. And when I get to camp, I'll filter my water, I'll set up my tent, and I'll start cooking dinner. Usually cooking dinner somewhere between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, trying to beat the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will come out as soon as it gets dark, and they can be pretty voracious at times. So I try to make sure I'm done. There's been times where I've had just enough time to boil my water, and then I pour it into my freezer bag and jump in the tent to get away from the mosquitoes and let my food rehydrate in my tent. So that's pretty much a day in a hiker's life. Pretty much every day is the same unless you're going into a town. You do get to see some beautiful forests like I'm walking through right now. Some savannas where you got some great views out across the plains. And I think I just got bit by a mosquito. Ouch! And that's about it. Good morning. It's Saturday, January 22nd, day 28 of my Eastern Continental Thru-Hike. I have so far gone about 475 miles. So the miles are starting to rack up. I finished up 3 lakes, wildlife management area yesterday. Camped right on the edge of it. And then I did a road walk, 3-mile road walk this morning, and now I'm in a place called Forever, Florida, which was a wildlife preserve that has did ecotourism and things like that, and now they've just kind of gone into the research side of it, so probably because of COVID. But anyway, this is where I'm at. Nice trails. Kind of on the roadway here, but there were some good trails cut through the hammock a while back, so a good place to hike through. My goal today is mile 295 or on Florida Trail, so that'll put me at right before a 26.3 mile road walk. There's a campground that's about 3 miles ahead of it. There's another campground about 3 miles after it. So overall, I think I figured it up last night, it's about a 33.3 mile camp to camp distance, which is what I'm planning to try to do tomorrow. So that's a really long day. Probably get up early and be walking in the dark, but I want to try to get that part done and get past that long road walk. So anyway, the weather today looks like it's going to be a little rainy. Got a little sprinkling on a minute ago, but not much. No reason to even put a jacket on, so we'll kind of watch the weather, and if I gotta cover up, I've got all the gear to do it, so we'll just walk through the rain. Anyway, thanks for watching. All right, I made it to 500 miles. Started early this morning, something in the dark, not much to see here. Kind of a road walk, so fun morning, but today's a long day. I got an early start, so anyway, 500 miles. I made it this far. Only 5,300 to go. Good morning. It's Sunday, January 23rd, day 29 of my Eastern Continental Thru-Hike. And I'm about getting close to 5 miles in on a very long walk today. So the section we're in today has a 26-mile road walk, and it's about 33 miles from camp to camp. So I'm going to try to make all that in one day. We'll see how that goes. And so far so good. So we got out a little early, started out about 5:30 in the morning, so it's just now getting daylight, and I got a full day ahead of me. So had a real good evening last night with Model, and her sister came down from Lakeland, Florida, and brought some Trail Magic, had some chili, had some beer, some cocoa, cookies, huge cookies, and it was just an overall good time with them. And then we had a couple other hikers there with us. There was myself, Mega Man, Model, and Royal Flush were all there. So it was a good evening, and we got to bed fairly early and got up even earlier. We got up at about 4 o'clock this morning, and they fed us again this morning with some bacon and egg bagels, which are really good as well. So had some real good food, and get all filled up and ready for the long hike ahead of us today. Good morning. It's Monday, January 24th, day 30 of my Eastern Continental Thru-Hike. So I made it 30 days, which is technically a month, I guess. I'm in the Tallahatchie Wilderness right now, so it's a lot of forested area. Had a pretty nice campsite at Tiger Branch last night. Had a couple of platforms I could set my tent up on, and keep out of the dirt, out of the moist ground. It did get cold. It got down to 35 in my tent. There was ice on the inside of my tent and the outside this morning, so got pretty cold. I'm gonna have to stop somewhere today and do a dry out party. Looks right now like the sun's starting to come up over the horizon, and the top of the trees are getting lit up. So hopefully we'll get some sun today and get warmed up. Anyway, got 26 miles I'm shooting for today to get me to the next campsite and line me up to go into Lake Mary on the 25th to pick up some new shoes. So that's the plans, and we'll keep moving down the trail. All right, I'm gonna try the camera again. It was kind of messing up on me this morning. Hopefully it's okay now. Anyway, I just left the Thru-Hike wildlife management area, and I'm heading into the town of Christmas, Florida. So I kind of just cut through this town and hit another wildlife management area on the other side. And looks like I still got about 17 miles to go to get to my camp for tonight. So I'm gonna have to start booking it. A little bit behind schedule. Kind of stopped and had a drying out party. Got my tent dry and my sleeping bag dry. Everything was a little wet last night. Kind of frosted on the inside of the tent and got a little raining on me, I guess, in the middle of the night. So anyway, I'm on the trail again. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, January 25th. I am in the Florida National Forest right now. I stayed at Wiley Dykes campsite last night. Got in there pretty late. It was after 7 o'clock, pretty dark, so I didn't get any pictures when I got to camp last night. Really got slowed down yesterday in the Thru-Hike wildlife management area and in the Charles Bronson State Forest. Just a lot of mud, and some of that mud was like sink up to your knees in the mud when you stepped into a spot. So pretty nasty mud, but it seems to be dry right now today from what I'm reading going forward. I'll probably see some more mud today, but after about 15 miles, I think, I hit some paved trails, or some bike trails at least, and a nice clean shot into Lake Mary. So hopefully make a little better time today. Good morning. It's Wednesday, January 26th, day 32 of my Eastern Continental hike. I'm taking a 0 day today. So I'm in a hotel in Lake Mary, I've hiked 583 miles to get here. And yesterday was a pretty rainy day. Walked through the rain from probably about noon until 6 o'clock when I got into town. I had to go pick up some shoes that were in Amazon hub locker, and they were going to send them back today if I didn't pick them up. So that's why I walked in. And then I got a ride over to the hotel. So a lot of you kind of wondered, what does a hiker do on a 0 day? Well, I'll kind of give you an idea. I got in late last night and things were pretty wet. So I kind of take my stuff and I spread it out all over my room. Now I did sleep in that bed last night, so I didn't spread that out till this morning. But my room is kind of a mess. I've kind of got stuff everywhere. They did have a laundry here. The washer worked fine, the dryer didn't, so that's why I have the clothes lined up and things are kind of hanging up to dry. Most of it, because it's pretty lightweight gear, dried overnight, so isn't really a problem. And I'm wearing a lot of it today that I washed last night. So my food's laid out on the bed because I got to figure out my resupply. I've got a 6-day stretch ahead of me, and I need 6 days of breakfast, lunches, and dinners. So I'm trying to make a shopping list so I can get ready to go to the grocery store, which is Publix, I think is where I'm going to go to, and get some food. There's a Target right there close, so I can get anything else I might need there. There is a Academy here in town. Not sure if they have fuel or not, but I'm going to check and see. And then I have a package to pick up at the post office, and I have a package to pick up at the Walgreens, which is a FedEx shipment from Rav Power, which is another power bank. So I'm going to go do all that today. Lake Mary has a bus service. I can get a $4.50 all-day pass and ride all over town, which is what I plan to do. And it's still raining today, so it's going to be pretty wet out. But I do have rain gear, so that's not a problem. I'll put rain gear on and go ride the bus and get my resupply taken care of. So that's what I do on a 0 day. Once I get back into town, back into my hotel, I'll probably kick off my shoes and catch up on some videos and some blogging. So there you have it. That's my plans for the day. Thanks. I'm on the Cross Seminole Trail, just finishing up section 4. Just wanted to remind everybody, get out there and make your own adventure. Thank you.